Day 13 of Operation Epic Fury. Seismographs beneath QOM spike to magnitude 4.6. A 120-meter blast zone was scoured to bare earth in the clerical heart of the Islamic Republic. The probable detonation of a 30,000-pound bunker buster against IRGC leadership shelters. The coalition could not reach until now. With Iranian sorties down 90%, and the Strait of Hormuz choked by drones, what this strike destroyed and what survived changes everything. Coalition air planners executed a campaign of systematic runway denial and multi-domain strikes that rapidly degraded Iran's aerial launch capacity. In the first 48 hours, precision-guided munitions cratered the main runways at Tabriz, Kermanshah, and Shiraz air bases, leaving hardened shelters isolated and fixed-wing assets trapped on the ground. By day 6, satellite and intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance feeds recorded more than 2,000 precision strikes targeting missile silos, command nodes, and airfields across the Iranian interior. The effect was immediate. Sortie logs captured by United States surveillance drones revealed a collapse in Iranian Air Force activity, with daily missions plunging from over 320 to fewer than 30. That figure represents a 90% reduction in operational sorties, confirmed by the near-total absence of Iranian F-14s, F-4s, and F-5s in the air after the first week. This attrition was not limited to fixed-wing aircraft. The coalition's focus on mobility kills, cratering runways, destroying taxiways, and severing fuel lines neutralized Iran's ability to reposition or regenerate its remaining assets. Functional kills followed as radar and surface-to-air missile sites were systematically suppressed. The cumulative effect: Iran's ability to launch coordinated air or drone attacks against high-value coalition targets was effectively neutralized. The coalition's sortie rate metric became a clear indicator of momentum, and as Iranian airfields fell silent, planners shifted attention to deeper, more resilient targets. The logic was simple: deny the enemy the means to strike back, then exploit the window to target command infrastructure. The operational tempo set in the opening days shaped the decision to employ bunker-busting munitions against Qom's underground leadership shelters, signaling a transition from broad attrition to strategic decapitation. Iran's maritime campaign on Day 13 centered on the Strait of Hormuz, a critical artery for global oil shipments and a prime target for disruption. Coalition naval intelligence reported the appearance of Asdar-class unmanned underwater vehicles operating at speeds between 18 and 25 knots, with a mission endurance of up to 4 days. These torpedo-shaped drones, field-tested by Iran since 2024, were detected maneuvering near shipping lanes, their low acoustic profiles evading most conventional sonar sweeps. Coalition destroyers and maritime patrol aircraft scrambled to deploy towed array sonars and magnetic anomaly detectors, but the Asdar-class acoustic signature proved difficult to isolate in the congested strait. The impact was immediate. 2 Greek-flagged tankers, the MT Olympic Spear and the MT Aegean Hope, caught fire within hours of each other after suspected underwater drone attacks. Both vessels suffered hull breaches below the waterline, igniting thousands of barrels of crude and forcing emergency shutdowns. The incidents triggered a cascade through the global energy market. Lloyd's of London raised the war risk premium for Gulf-bound tankers by over 40%, with some brokers quoting rates as high as $5,800 per vessel, nearly double the pre-crisis baseline. Operators began rerouting ships around the Cape of Good Hope, adding weeks to delivery schedules and inflating fuel costs. Insurance underwriters and ship operators now faced a volatile risk environment. The persistent threat of stealth, unmanned underwater vehicles, combined with repeated surface drone sightings, drove up charter rates and forced fleet managers to reconsider their exposure in the Gulf. Forensic analysis of debris from the tanker strikes remains inconclusive, but the operational effect is clear. Iran's asymmetric maritime tactics have introduced a new layer of uncertainty to coalition logistics and global oil supply, raising the stakes for both military planners and commercial actors as the conflict widens beyond the air campaign. Satellite intelligence from the hours following the Qom explosion provides a layered, multi-source record of the event's physical effects. Commercial optical imagery released on March 12th indicates a cleared zone measuring roughly 120 meters across, centered on the assembly of experts' compound. The distinct circular crater and roof collapse debris are visible from multiple angles, corroborating ground-level video geolocated to the southern parking lot. Synthetic aperture radar datasets, including a 13-centimeter resolution pass by Umbra on March 13th, confirm a low backscatter void matching the optical cleared area, with vertical displacement at the crater center measured at approximately 5 meters. This displacement is consistent with a high-energy detonation, but does not match the deep penetration profile expected from a 30,000-pound GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator. Seismic data from the United States Geological Survey's real-time monitor registers a magnitude 4.6 tremor at 22:30 Coordinated Universal Time within 5 kilometers of Qom's coordinates. The seismic waveform indicates an energy release in the 5 to 10 kiloton range of TNT, compatible with a large conventional blast, but below the threshold for a maximum yield bunker buster. Infrasound arrays operated by the International Monitoring System picked up an acoustic arrival consistent with a surface or shallow subsurface burst, further supporting the conclusion of a high-yield, but not ultra-deep, detonation. Video evidence from 4 independent sources captures the event from multiple vantage points. A bright flash over the skyline at 2200 Greenwich Mean Time, the immediate aftermath showing shattered glass and fires, a crater estimated at 70 meters in diameter by shadow analysis, and live reporting of a secondary fireball 30 seconds after the primary explosion. All footage is time-stamped and geolocated, with landmarks cross-referenced against high-resolution satellite layers. The convergence of optical, synthetic aperture radar, seismic, and video data establishes the timing and scale of the Qom blast with high confidence, while fragment photos and crater depth measurements remain under review for precise weapon attribution. Fragment analysis from the Qom blast site introduces a critical layer of doubt into the GBU-57 narrative. The largest recovered metallic shard measures roughly 30 centimeters across, a fraction of the 1.45 meters in diameter expected from a massive ordnance penetrator's titanium casing. Metallurgical examination of the debris, while incomplete, shows no evidence of the distinct alloy composition or surface machining marks characteristic of the GBU-57 series. This mismatch complicates attribution and suggests either a different class of penetrator or a high-yield thermobaric device. Crater morphology further challenges the deep penetration claim. Synthetic aperture radar data and shadow-based measurement confirm a crater approximately 120 meters wide, with a central uplift of 5 meters, consistent with a surface or shallow subsurface detonation. The absence of a deep punch through tunnel or ejecta plume rules out a 200-foot penetration event. Instead, the damage profile aligns with a large fuel-air explosive or a conventional penetrator in the 2,000-pound class, such as a BLU-109 or GBU-31 variant. Applying the standard kill taxonomy, the Qom strike delivered both a mobility kill, immobilizing the bunker's foundation and severing access routes, and a functional kill, as communications and power signatures vanished immediately after the blast. However, the evidence does not support a complete kill by deep collapse. The operational effect is significant. Leadership command nodes were disrupted, but the absence of a true deep penetration event leaves open the possibility of partial survivability for hardened underground facilities. This outcome shapes the next phase of the campaign, as both sides recalibrate their expectations of bunker-busting capability and retaliatory risk. Within hours of the Qom detonation, the IRGC's information apparatus moved to frame the event as an existential assault on Iran's sovereignty and religious authority. The official press release, distributed through SIPA News and state-linked Telegram channels, contained a single, unambiguous promise. Iran would respond tenfold to the use of massive ordnance in its holy cities. The statement, attributed to the Supreme Leader's representative, did not appear alongside any authenticated video address from Mojtaba Khamenei. Instead, the regime relied on text-based communiques, amplified by IRNA bulletins, and reposted across official outlets to project unity and resolve. No original footage surfaced in the first 24 hours showing Mojtaba Khamenei in a bunker or delivering a direct message. All references to his involvement were secondhand, repeating the same phrasing and avoiding specifics about the regime's leadership status or bunker survivability. The absence of verifiable video did not blunt the message's effect. The tenfold line was immediately picked up by regional media and foreign wire services, reinforcing the IRGC's intent to escalate. This rhetorical posture served a dual function. It signaled to domestic audiences that Iran's response would be disproportionate, while warning external adversaries that new fronts, including asymmetric maritime and aerial operations, were now in play. The political shockwave was amplified by the ambiguity surrounding the leadership's physical security, leaving open the question of whether the regime was speaking from a position of strength or improvising under duress. Coalition strike planners have shifted B-2 Spirit bombers to a dual-base posture, with sorties now originating from both Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri and Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. This configuration allows for overlapping strike windows and rapid retasking, supported by a rotating fleet of KC-135 stratotankers running refueling tracks over the Arabian Sea and the southern Red Sea. The current tempo maintains up to 30 KC-135 stratotankers airborne at any given time, ensuring that deep penetration bomber packages can reach Iranian targets without extended loiter or predictable routing. Homeland security agencies have issued a port security advisory for all major U.S. West Coast terminals, citing intelligence that Shahed 136 drone kits may be concealed in commercial cargo bound for Los Angeles and San Diego. FBI bulletins distributed to port authorities warn of the risk of containerized drone launches and direct the deployment of F-18 Hornet patrols and high-power microwave systems at critical infrastructure nodes. Operational watch lists now flag 3 primary escalation indicators for the next 72 hours. A spike in Lloyd's Maritime War Risk Index above 45% baseline. Anomalous rerouting of at least 15% of Gulf shipping traffic. Confirmed intercepts of Iranian drones or cruise missiles by partner integrated air defense systems. Oil price thresholds remain under scrutiny, with WTI and Brent futures hovering near $100 per barrel and serving as a barometer for both economic and military risk. Coalition planners are monitoring these metrics for early warning of retaliatory cycles or shifts in Iranian strategy. Precision. Bunker busting now redefines the threshold for leadership targeting and strategic denial. Yet for every deeply buried site struck, Iran adapts, shifting assets, recalibrating risk, and amplifying asymmetric threats. Tonight, deterrence hangs not on capability, but on who blinks next.